Okay, hi, welcome back.
Yeah,
Okay,
welcome back.
so continuing this theme, WTF is enlightenment. Some context. The idea of enlightenment is Buddhist. Buddhism was a concept created in the 1800s. Prior to that, Buddhists called themselves insiders. Okay. Before the Buddhist time, I'm doing all of this because we can talk about all these things a lot, unpack it a lot. Before the Buddhist time, India, Vedic culture, gods, rituals, wherever there is God, culturally, there's a similar concept to enlightenment that is a merger with God, or the embodiment of certain of God's qualities: love, intelligence, fear, ferocity, whatever. The procreative side of the continuum, the amazingness that's life. Anyway, but the idea that a human being is optimally positioned to unite consciously, viscerally, with all phenomena in all directions in time and space is unique to our historical Buddha's life and teaching. Okay. One of the things that was realized by that particular individual was that there have been Buddhas before, and there are a lot coming, etc. But primarily, the essence of that is that human beings are optimally positioned to realize the meaning of life precisely because human beings have this thing called Buddha nature. The direct realization of Buddha nature is one of the enlightenment experiences. All right? I'm trying to provide some context. So, the Buddha nature itself sometimes is thought of as light, like just infinite light, time and space, clear light, reality, or sometimes called the super subtle mind-body complex. Following me so far? Okay? So, Buddhas are said to have three bodies. The obvious one, the one that we all also, just with a little bit of common sense thinking, is also a very obvious body, which is our dream body. Buddhas have a third body in addition to those, which is called a truth body, or whatever, however you want to think of that. But that is the clear light body. That is the clear light infinite body. That is the all good that I was talking about earlier today. It's all good. That's that body. It's all good everywhere. That body. That's the real mark of Buddha body. All right, follow me so far? So what might the experience of that be like? How do you know if you're a Buddha or not? It's one thing to have the Buddha nature, but it's another thing to be able to access and or resurrect the dormant, latent Buddha nature into full expression, into the full experience of that, and to know what that might be like. So we were talking yesterday, because of the untimely transition of a major figure in sports. We were talking about a sports analogy, which is if you've ever been to a sporting event, or you watch one on TV is a better example. You're watching a sporting event on TV, and something happens crazy, grand slam, or some basketball team is just like killing it and scored 20 points, a timeout. People are going crazy. So something exciting happens, and tens of thousands of people all express noise, express something, right? They're all individually, each one is individually expressing something. But when you zoom out, the synthesis of that, the synthesis of each individual expression becomes white noise. It becomes the breath of life. It becomes that. If you have the point of view, if you have the perspective, if you have the zoom out perspective that can encompass or embrace the all perspective, all of the individual perspectives all at once, you get, are you following me? Okay, we call that white noise, right? But what is, so when we imitate cheering, like when you imitate, fans cheering, you go, but what's actually happening on the field, people aren't going next to each other. Like I'm going, and this person's going, that's not what's happening. I may be going, fuck, or someone's going, or someone's going, whistling, clapping, cheering, jumping, bottles breaking, whatever is happening. All these crazy and unique and specific individual expressions are all happening simultaneously. They're all happening. But if you zoom out, it's just white noise. A clear light of the void, clear light reality, the truth body of Buddhahood is similar to that. Imagine that you could see through everybody's eyes all right now. Actually we make a mistake when we try to do that visual. You can't actually visualize that. This is the thing also. You can't directly visualize what that might be like. And here's why. Let's say I'm driving on the road and I'm going north, on Highway 202 or whatever. I'm going north on Highway 2277 or whatever I'm doing. All right? My point of view is this way. I see objects, the road, signs, whatever, and I only see those objects because light is hitting them and bouncing off and reflecting back to me. Follow? But if I simultaneously saw the other point of view, light bouncing off the other thing and then bouncing back, then the object dissolves actually. Because there's no shadow, there's no object there anyway. So if you're looking at a table from my eyes and someone else's eyes and a bunch of eyes all at once, you don't see the whole table. The object dissolves. And it's just light there. Are you following me? That's why it's called clear light of the void. If you were to imagine right now, looking out through everybody's eyes all at once, it's like there'd be an overexposed picture. It's like it's too much light and it's just imagine a white noise of white sight is that kind of thing. It's not literally white, but it's clear sight is the thing. If you were to overlay this and 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 overlay this, like how would you be able to distinguish what object is where? In the same way, so this is why I was saying that emptiness is a way to point to that experience. Buddha didn't say emptiness upon realization of the truth. But the objects dissolve. If there are enough point of views, there's no object there. You can't distinguish what's there. In the same way that if I hear a crowd going, ha, ha, I hear something, it's a thing, but I can't distinguish the individual within that place. There's no specific object of reference. It's just a bunch of stuff all synthesized together. Are you following what I'm saying? So there's a reason why the word enlightenment is used, because it's light. And it's difficult to think about what that might mean, because all we really experience is light bouncing off of things, and there's an object there that's holding a certain position. Are you following what I'm saying? It's confusing? Is it helping? Okay. Is it making clear? Okay. Anything to clarify about that? What is it? WTF is enlightenment. If you've ever seen a stupa, prior to the steps leading toward the apex, there's a square, and there's eyes on all sides of it. So WTF is enlightenment. Just like white noise is the synthesis of every single individual's expression happening simultaneously. Clear light is the synthesis of every single thing that can be conceived of visually, meaning existentially, actually, all simultaneously, all at once. And the closest thing that we can approximate to describe what that experience is like is clear light. But if you were to look out through everybody's eyes right now from where you are, it would be very difficult to distinguish an object because there'd be so many of them all at once. There's an infinite amount of objects in existence right now. And if you saw all of them all at the same time, how would you be able to differentiate what is what from another thing? All the objects would essentially dissolve. All the individual points of view would dissolve into one thing. It's a thing that is inclusive of all things. This isn't making sense.